You need to stop trying to live a lifestyle that y'all do not have. Stop trying to live like you got it until you actually got it. Stop working for this. This is worthless. This is a piece of paper. That is worthless. It's a piece of paper, bro. Money that has no value. The only value that money has is the value that you give. How many of y'all were told that same line everybody tells you? Go to school, get good grades, work your whole life to then work the rest of your life, right? How many of y'all were told that, right? Y'all see that 25-year-old, that 20-year-old in Miami with the Lamborghini. How many of y'all see them and be like, oh yeah, he definitely studied. Oh yeah, he went to school. Y'all believe that, right? That's what I thought. Everybody who's seen somebody like that, especially if they're like 20, they know they didn't go to school. They think trapper, scammers. Welcome to the video, y'all. My name is GLX. In this video, I'm going to be teaching y'all how to actually get rich. I need you to keep getting locked in real quick. First, I need to tell y'all a story. Let me tell y'all a story about two dads, a rich dad and a poor dad, right? One dad he is educated. He went to a good university and he graduated with honors. The other dad, he dropped out of school in 8th grade. He wasn't a good student at all. One of the dads ended up poor, left behind no money for his children, and he actually left behind debt for his children to have to clear up. The other dad left behind riches and a wealthy bloodline for his whole family. One dad said, I can't afford it. Let's stop thinking about it. I can't afford it. The other dad said, how can I afford it? Growing up in my area, I hear people say things like, I can't afford that. And they live on credit, but they're buying shoes. They're buying Jordan. They're buying the latest Jordans. They're buying the latest purses. They're buying the latest this and that. They don't got their priorities straight, right? But that's not even the point. Rich dad was the dad who did not go to college. Poor dad was the dad who went to college. You know why? It's because of the next topic that I'm going to tell you about. Assets versus liabilities. If you don't take anything away from this video, the one thing that you need to take away from this video is the difference between assets and liabilities. Some of y'all might be thinking, like, a lot of y'all might be thinking actually that you know what an asset is. That's just a house. That's a car. What are you talking about? I know what an asset is, right? Wrong. A real asset is something that puts money into your pocket. Anything else is a liability. A liability takes money out of your pocket. For example, let's say you take out a mortgage for a house. Where's the money coming in from? There's no money coming in because you're living in the house. You're not renting the house out. You're living in the house. So you're paying a mortgage on that house, and that's taking money out of your pocket. That's a liability. If you decide to rent out that house, then it becomes an asset because now you're actually renting out that house and you're making money. It's putting money into your pocket. A liability would be buying the newest car, buying that Hellcat. Are you going to sell it? Most likely y'all are going to keep it, right? If you keep it, you don't sell it, then what money are you making from it? You're paying a car note. Now, not only do you have this car, but you have car notes, car insurance. You got to do repairs, expensive gas because that's an expensive car. So it definitely got some expensive gas and all this money. That's a liability. That's not an asset. That's a liability. Another example could be the latest Jordans. Like, yeah, sure, it could be a one-time payment, and it's a one-time thing that you only buy it for the one time, right? That's cool. If you don't wear it anymore, you just keep it in your closet, just keep it in your room. It's just sitting there. You say it might go up in value, cool. But are you gonna sell it? No, right? It's just sitting there. Those are all examples of liabilities. Now, I ain't saying that you can't go out and buy a Hellcat or buy a Scat Pack, buy a Benz, or buy the latest Jordans, buy the latest Spider hoodie, buy all this stuff. I love that stuff. Rich people, they don't buy liabilities with their money. They buy liabilities with the profit they get from an asset. If you rent out that house and you're making more money than you're spending on it, you can spend on a new pair of Jordans, spend that on a new car. Rich people buy assets to make them money to be able to buy luxury items. They know a car isn't a car that you drive is not an asset. A new house that you live in is not an asset. That 21-year-old in Miami who has that car, he knows that that's not an asset. But he has enough actual assets to be able to buy that car. People buying on credit, people buying things that they can't afford, and then they have to work a job that they hate just so that they can afford to live a lifestyle they do not have. That's the rat race. That's what everybody knows about, the rat race. We all know about it. We don't actually know it until it comes and consumes us. Getting up every day to go to a job you hate, to deal with people you don't even like, that's torture. That's not how human beings are supposed to live. That's not how the world works. You work and you work and you get paid and you spend and you get paid and you spend more. We're going to stop that right now. We're going to save money. We're going to invest money. We're going to buy assets. We're going to buy things that make us money. Start that YouTube channel and buy a camera, buy a microphone, buy things that make you money. Stop buying the latest stuff just to look cool. You need to stop trying to live a lifestyle that y'all do not have. Stop trying to look cool for people, bro. Stop trying to look cool for people. Because all that stuff is just making you broke. Stop trying to look like you got it until you actually got it. Stop trying to be something you're not, bro. That's the biggest thing. Stop trying to be something you're not. Now, y'all, before I get to this next chapter, let me just preface by saying this. A 9 to 5 job is not bad at all. But a lot of y'all be going about it the wrong way. A 9 to 5 job is something that you should use as a stepping stone to your financial success. You should not depend on a 9 to 5 job for your financial success. This is something I'm going to say over and over again. A 9 to 5 job, you trading your time for money. You should never trade your time for money. I have a 9 to 5 job right now. I'm a busser at a restaurant. I trade my time for money. I'm not going to be there in about 5 years. I'm not going to be there for my foreseeable future. Don't get me wrong. If you're trying to save some quick money, the best thing to do is a 9 to 5 job, but just to work for that money, save it up, and then invest it. But the key word is invest that money. Don't go use that money you get from your job to buy the new Jordans again. You invest that money. A 9 to 5 job does not make you rich. A 9 to 5 job makes the person who owns the business rich. A 9 to 5 job makes your manager rich. This last point, this is really to drive this home. Stop working for money. Stop seeing the money and start seeing the skills you can learn. A dollar bill. Let me actually hold on. Let me get my wallet. This right here, this is worthless. Imagine if this is $100 bill, right? This is a piece of paper. This is worthless. That is worthless. It's a piece of paper, bro. Stop working for this. This is worthless. You need to stop trading your time for money and start trading your time or money for skill. You need to work to learn, not to earn. Money that has no value. The only value that money has is the value that you give it. For example, if you were stranded on a private island, what would you rather have? $1 million or a can of soup? You rather have a can of soup, right? So now all of a sudden, if you had $1 million and I said, I'm gonna give you this can of soup, give me $1 million, you would give it to me because you're starving to death. Now that can of soup is worth $1 million. There's something that I bought for like $2. Now to you is worth $1 million because you give it value. You give the can of soup value. So now that money becomes worthless to you. Money's value is subjective, bro. Stop working for money and work for skills. Because the skills are the can of soup. In this day and age, bro, skills are like food to a starving person, bro. There's so many skills that you can learn to make so much money. Skills are like food to a starving person, bro. The world needs more skills. The world needs more engineers, more computer analysts. The world needs more skills, bro. Stop working to earn and start working to learn. There are important skills too. There are three important skills. There are three important skills that'll make you money, like no matter what day and age we're in. That is sales, marketing, and accounting. I'm not talking about the jobs at all. I'm talking about the actual skill, the skill of selling something. The skill of selling something, that's what I'm talking about. If you can sell better than your competitor, then you make more money than them. It's that simple. If you can sell something better than somebody else can, then you win. Marketing. If you know how to get your product out there, you can have the best product in the world. But if you don't know how to market your product to the right audience, then you're never gonna get it out there. Imagine you have a protein bar for like $1 and it has like 100 grams of protein in it. If you give that to somebody who don't go to the gym, what do they need that for? You need to market that to the gym goer, but you need to market that in a specific way. Marketing is so important because you need to know who your audience is and then share your product. In accounting, I'm not talking about the accounting job. I'm talking about the skill of knowing what numbers mean for your business. Knowing how to look at numbers on the screen and know, okay, this means that for my business. My business is going bad. Let's turn it around, you know? Look, bro, you need to go out and learn. This game ain't finna be there forever. You need to go out and get the information on your own. You need to go out and read books. Read a book. Stop watching these YouTube videos and go read a book. If y'all want to know where I learned all this from, read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I promise y'all that's one of the best books for finance I've ever read personally. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And also Think and Grow Rich, because that's gonna be my next video. That's all I got for y'all, man. Peace, y'all.